Good morning, friends. Norm T. Butcher here, the Mosey Meat Man. And today we're going to pick up Sean, and we're headed out to the other side of Smith Falls. We're going to do an epic cook-up with Kereen Wardle. And we'll see you there. All right, everybody. We're at Kereen's place, and she's going to cook us up an epic meal today. Say hello.
Hello.
So what have we got here?
So I'm putting together my my own blend of spices that I like to use for smoking chicken.
Okay.
And it looks like a large amount, but I'm just making a whole batch to use for down the road. So we have sea salt. This one right here is actually smoked sea salt that I did on my barbecue. We've got smoked paprika, black pepper, sage, nutmeg, cayenne, and mustard powder. And
Nice.
so I'm just going to put them all together and give it a little whisk so it's all nice and blended.
All right. We'll watch you do your magic.
Beautiful chickens.
So this is our main meat today, and there's our chickens, and they've been provided by Tim Frisbee at Wiser Meats. Thank you very much, Tim. Those are absolutely beautiful looking birds.
Nice size.
Yeah, the color is incredible.
Gorgeous.
They're not that blanched or bleached white fryers that you buy in the grocery store.
Nice and pink. They look beautiful. We're going to spatchcock these birds.
All right.
So they sit flatter on the barbecue. So you just need to start on either side of the neck and work your way down so you can feel the bones at the back. You don't want to cut too much into the thigh. Here's the joint. There we go. And you want to pop out beside the tail. So that's down one side, and then you just do the other side as well.
Beautiful. Yeah, I use a knife and I turn it around, and then I start at the neck and I just... A lot of people, it's more comfortable to use a pair of scissors. It's less dangerous.
True.
Yeah, some people scare me when they have a huge knife at a weird angle. I'm like...
So there we go. So that opens it nicely. And this is my favorite kitchen knife. And then inside you'll find the little bit of the cartilage that holds the breastbone.
Yep.
You just want to cut down to that.
Yeah.
And then you just pop it up. And then now our chicken is going to sit flat on the grill. And it gives us more surface area to get to for the rub. We'll do
What I do with mine is I take this, I turn it around,
Yeah.
grab it on either side, and you just rip that right
Just
out.
pull it out.
But you don't have to. This is up to
Yeah.
you.
I'm going to leave it in.
Yeah.
Because then,
Well, it protects the meat too.
yeah. But
All right. Now we're going to put the rub on.
Give another little mix. And you want to make sure you're getting all surface area. Oh, I should. And my hands are washed.
I'm not a glove guy.
I just find it gets all over the glove.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm a glove guy now, just for convenience.
Well,
'Cause I can do
you're on,
something, rip the glove off, do
and you're
something
making
else.
stuff for commercial, for people to use too,
Yeah.
right? Not for your own consumption.
So we'll put a bit on all of this area. We'll flip them over. And we'll get the other sides.
Oh, yeah, the bottle rubs are a whole separate area. Don't even do those in the kitchen. Got my own little laboratory, as I call it.
Yes, the mad
It
scientist.
can be
And I'd say my...
that smoked paprika is going to add to the color as well when it's done. Give you that
Looking
proper
good.
barbecue classic look.
You can actually buy the same rub that they use on the chickens in the grocery stores, the barbecue chickens.
All right.
It's made by Berthelot,
Alright.
and you can actually buy that rub. Yeah. It has its own unique flavor.
Hey, that's
Yeah, they
not
don't
what
taste
I've done
like-
in a long time.
No, you wouldn't.
Camels.
But most of them are inspired by store-bought.
That's
products.
right.
Okay. So now we're gonna let these guys sit in the fridge for at least a half hour. And we'll go get the smoker ready.
All right.
Cornbread to go on the barbecue with our chickens.
All right.
And really simple. It has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 ingredients. Just mix it, throw it in the pan, and you're good to go. If you're doing it in the oven, you can use cast iron, you can use a regular baking dish. 350 for about 25 to 30 minutes, depending on how hot your oven gets. We're just going to throw it on the barbecue and let it do its thing there. So we're going to start with the flour. This is a cup of unbleached all-purpose, which I've also smoked. So we've got smoked flour.
Smells amazing.
And it's equal parts flour to cornmeal. So I've got yellow cornmeal, and it's a cup of cornmeal.
Okay.
And then I have 2/3 of a cup of white sugar. If you want a sweeter cornbread, I've also made this with a cup as well. But I find the 2/3 is just the right level when you're pairing it with barbecue.
Okay.
So sugar goes in. And then here I have 3.5 teaspoons of baking powder, and I've also included some smoked Himalayan salt, so it's just a teaspoon of salt.
Okay.
So we'll put all our dries together. We'll just whisk it up so it's nicely mixed. Make sure there's no clumps of flour or no clumps of baking powder, because that's never fun to bite into. And then we've got 1/3 of a cup of melted butter. I like to start with the grease because you're adding it to flour, so the two of them take a little bit more time to get used to each other. So we're going to start with the butter and fold that through. And with a lot of baking, they say you don't want to over mix, but I found this recipe is really forgiving. And I like to at least try to get everything incorporated with the butter while still leaving some lumps.
So you don't want to make it smooth.
No, yeah, lumps are good in this case. Okay, and then we're gonna add 1 egg. I'm just gonna break that into a separate dish in case you end up with eggshells. It's easier to remove from this than from your main bowl. So 1 egg is going to go in, and now I'm going to use my whisk to incorporate that. Break the yolk a bit, just give it a good mix. And again, eggs are high in fat, so you want to try and get it throughout the mixture. And then I use the milk, which is the last ingredient, to get it to where we want it to be.
Okay.
Switch back to the spatula and fold it in. So we still have some lumps happening, but you can see the butter and the egg are starting to bind everybody together. And we've got more of a crumb texture than just a dry texture. Okay, then I have a cup of milk.
Now everything is at room temperature?
Well, the milk, we only just took the milk out.
Okay.
But the egg was at room temperature, the butter was melted ahead of time. And then we're just gonna add the milk, and then we stir it until everything's well mixed, but still lumpy. And this ends up being a fairly wet looking batter,
Okay.
but it turns out really nicely when it cooks. It has a nice light crumb texture to it. And I haven't needed to preheat my cast iron, but I did add some oil to it. All right, so we still have some lumps happening,
Yeah.
but everything's nice and wet. There's no particular ingredient in one specific place. So then we're just gonna pour that right in the middle of our cast iron.
Looking good.
And then give it a jiggle, just to settle everybody down. And that's it. That's ready to go on the camp.
All right. Good.
On the bar. Okay. So our coals are nice and hot. We're gonna dump them into the bottom, and then we'll get our grills on and we'll get the chicken on.
All right. Right to you, eh?
So spread them out so everybody's nice and hot. And we're going to put the chickens on this level and the cornbread on the top so we don't have to deal with any cross-contamination.
Okay.
Oh, they look good already. Facing the other way. And we're gonna add some applewood chunks, and then a little later on we're gonna add some whiskey barrel chips to add a bit of depth to our flavor profile.
Nice.
We're gonna put the second segment on. Right on the top here.
Sweet. Looking forward to trying that.
And that's it. We'll just let it go. We'll come out and check in a half hour. We're probably looking 2 to 3 hours to get everybody smoked.
What temperature you going to cook that at?
Gonna aim for that 300 mark,
okay.
As long as we're staying above 225, 250.
Yeah.
So I'm just gonna put some applewood right in here.
All right, we're going to have a look here, 45 minutes in.
All right, so we're gonna start with the top section where the cornbread is. Have a look at that.
It is the reveal.
Oh, that's looking good.
That sure is.
A little bit of no jiggle. Still needs a little bit, but we're looking there. It's getting that nice color on it. Just pulled away from the side of the pan.
It's beautiful.
And then we'll just take this segment off and we'll have a look at the chicken. And that's looking good. They're looking nice there.
Okay.
And our coals are looking nice, and we still have some nice big pieces of wood, so I think we'll just give it a little bit more time. We'll come check it in another half hour.
Sounds good. We'll be back, friends.
And we don't need it anymore.
There's the cornbread about. There's the chicken.
So we're going to check.
It's looking really good.
Do a bit of a temperature check. We'll go into the thigh. Make sure you're not touching any of the bone. And we're looking for that 165. So these guys are cooked. What we're going to do is we'll give them a spritz. I'll close the air vents a little bit. They can stay on here, and we'll get the potatoes started inside.
Good.
And this is just straight up limeade, so we're going to get a little bit of a pepper lime flavor to our chicken. I just filled it.
Or are we?
We are. I just filled it, so it's got none of that. Maybe.
Stand on this side of the fire.
Oh, come on. Nope. Did I not fill it high enough? It's not a very apparently it's just for the grass. Just spray bottle.
Oh, that looks good.
That's a good way if you're cooking at really low temperature with your coals. Let's say a reverse theory, you want a low temp and then high temperature. Take 2 squirts of the lemon juice, spray the coals, and you'll have
This is not heavy. Moisture back in here. Look at these guys.
That's beautiful. Yeah.
So juicy.
Good.
and foil away from this.
There we go.
Yeah.
Put the legs on top of each other.
We're ready to enjoy this.
And get them wrapped and they can rest. We'll slice them when the potatoes are done.
Okay.
And
Now, how long do you put the halloumi on the bread for?
just until you get the grill marks where you want it to be. It'll be a little bit soft, but it holds its shape so it doesn't actually melt.
Okay.
So we're just gonna need to give it some grill marks, give it some flavor. There's still some wood chunks in there, so that's gonna add some smokiness as well.
Nice.
I put my,
All right.
all right, so on goes the halloumi cheese. And we just wanna get some nice grill marks on there. And these will be part of our salad. Any farms left? Can I come in? So
That's
stay
beautiful.
open for him. That looks done. I'm gonna call them done.
Yeah.
So that's our.
Wow.
There we go.
That was beautiful.
Muscle alert. All right. So here we are with our halloumi. We're just gonna dice a tad to our salad now. Put them out there. There we go. You can see the color
Oh,
and the
yeah,
smoke get
beautiful.
through there. The grill marks give a really good spot to dice. Really good guide.
Yeah.
All right.
That looks pretty good.
So let me just, we've got some cucumbers and some Boston lettuce going on in here. So we'll just keep building
Tomato.
with the cheese. All right. Take some of the mint. We'll tie our salad in with our potatoes. So just a rough dice on this, picked fresh from the garden in the morning.
Nice.
So just a little quick. We don't want to bruise out all the oils from the mint, but we don't want to wake it up a bit. Over the top. And we're just going to mix up a real simple, really quick dressing with dark chocolate, locally sourced from Merrickville, balsamic vinegar, and I've got a Spanish olive oil. So we're just going to do 3 parts oil, 1 part vinegar. Okay. So this olive oil, Spanish oils tend to have a typically grassy profile, and I think that's just going to bring our early summer barbecue feeling. Our balsamic.
That's a chocolate balsamic.
This is a dark chocolate aged balsamic.
Beautiful.
So that's going to give us a bit of a tie-in to our dessert as well. So 3 parts oil, 1 part vinegar. And we'll just give that a quick mix. You don't need it completely emulsified, but you do want them to get together.
Yep.
And then we're just going to drizzle. And then when we serve, it'll mix everything up together.
Ooh. Smells good.
There we go.
Wonderful. Look at that.
Chicken. So they've rested.
Beautiful. Oh, it smells
So we'll
Oh,
quarter these guys up and
incredible.
go from there. All right. So leg.
What an odor. Wow, that's beautiful.
We got another leg. And we'll get into the joint here for the chicken.
Yeah.
Look at that. There we go.
Perfect. Perfect.
The other leg or arm,
Wing.
wing, whatever they have. That's a cook's bit. And then down the breast. So
Beautiful. Looks nice and moist.
it's nice and juicy.
Yeah.
We'll do the squeeze test.
Yeah.
It's falling apart. I'm very happy with this.
Me too.
All right.
That's number 2.
You can smell that lime. We didn't use much of it, but
Yeah. It all smells just wonderful.
there we go. Some wings. Get chicken breast on there. And then I'll do a couple more legs. There we have it.
Beautiful. Oh, this is what our fare looks like. Incredible.
Smells amazing.
A lot of fun.
Well, thank you for having us. It was absolutely a thrill to watch you work.
I enjoy it. I've had a lot of fun barbecuing. I like being the only girl on the block who barbecues. And I just hope you guys enjoy it.
Well,
And
we will.
if anybody wants to try what I've made, I'll give Norm all the info on what we did today and he can share that with you.
All right. Yes, we definitely want the recipe to post it on YouTube.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Let everybody dig in.
All your other flavors, a chance to
All
do what
right,
it's going to do.
let's give this a try here. New potatoes.
I know. There's like never enough of them.
Very good.
I get potatoes in my house like 10 pounds at a time because everybody like dives into them. And they're great for leftovers.
Oh
You
yeah.
can just throw them in the frying pan and either fry them or I
The
squish them up.
potato pancakes.
Yeah, I squish them up and batter them again and deep fry them. Or like,
There's no better way to spend a Sunday afternoon. Good friends, good food. Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Thank you for coming.
And thank you, Tim, for the chicken.
Your beautiful chicken.
Yes, Weiser's Meats, everybody. Well, there's another Pinky Pig approved meal, this time by Kereen. And we had the barbecue chicken supplied by Tim Frisbee at Weiser Meats, cornbread with, and potatoes with mint, fresh salad with chocolate balsamic vinegar and oil, as well as halloumi, smoked halloumi cheese. And for dessert, we had a smoked chocolate chip cookies, but we never got to them because we were just too full. So thank you very much, and we'll see you again.